in her opening statement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for holding today's hearing on President Biden's fiscal year 2024 budget and priorities for the remaining agencies and within the jurisdiction of this committee. I welcome our federal witnesses today, many of whom I have spoken to often, about the unique water resources challenges facing our nation and the regions and the communities we are all honored to represent. I want to extend a special welcome to Assistant Administrator Fox and Commissioner Geiner. Welcome. The federal agencies and offices you serve here have seen firsthand the challenges posed by climate change, extreme weather, and including persistent drought in providing continued, clean, safe, reliable, and affordable water and wastewater services for the nation. Thank you for your continued and dedicated service to our nation. Mr. Chairman, annual budget proposal of the administration and congressional leaders provide valuable insight into the goals and priorities of their authors. Annual budgets provide an objective way to compare competing visions for the future of our country and for what we stand for in representing our constituents. This year, the contrasts are stark and telling. The Biden administration's proposal lays out a bold vision to grow the economy from the bottom up, to invest in cleaner, greener, and more accessible infrastructure, to create jobs and opportunities for all people, and to restore and protect our environment. That is the same vision shared by House Democrats who, last Congress, passed the largest infrastructure investments in over a generation through the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and the Inflation Reduction Act, as well as other transformational infrastructure investment bills, such as the first reauthorization of the Clean Water State Revolving Fund in its history. With each dollar invested and each new water and wastewater infrastructure project implemented every day, Americans will continue to reap the benefits of these transformational laws through reduced transportation congestion, cleaner air and cleaner water, and a safer, more resilient, and more livable environment. Mr. Chairman, House Democrats specifically tailored these investments to address the affordability concerns facing many minority, rural, and tribal communities, ensuring that all Americans, regardless of zip code, should have access to clean, safe water, reliable drinking water, and wastewater services. However, I remain very concerned that the current Republican leadership of the House is moving this country in a contrary direction of the will of the American people. For example, House Republican leadership advanced a debt limit proposal that sought to hold hostage the full faith and credit of our economy while blindly slashing critical investments in our economy, our infrastructure, and our quality of life. While thanks to the leadership of President Biden, everyday families be spared the worst of this misguided proposal. It's apparent the Republican leadership continues to advance their draconian cuts every day, even today. These cuts are most apparent in the projected 40% cut to the EPA budget, an agency founded on the principle of safeguarding the health of our citizens and our natural environment. If the latest House Republican proposal becomes law, rural and coastal communities will be more vulnerable to the effects of extreme weather events and flooding. Fewer families, grandparents, and children will have access to clean air or clean water, and our treasured regional water bodies, such as the Great Lakes, Chesapeake Bay, and the Florida Everglades, will be placed at greater risk. I am further dismayed by their focus on putting polluters over our people and eliminating the Clean Water Act protections on over half of the nation's wetlands and up to 70% of the nation's streams and rivers and lakes. Last month, the Supreme Court's misguided reading of the Clean Water Act undermined our nation's ability to protect our rivers, streams, and other water bodies for our future generation, the consequences of which are still undefined. Earlier this week, Ranking Member Larson and I called upon EPA and the Corps to start documenting the actual day-to-day impacts of the second decision. The American people deserve to know how this decision impacts the protections of the rivers, streams, and wetlands in their own backyards and its adverse impact on our local business and communities. I am most concerned that the second decision has transferred significant costs from polluters to states, localities, and everyday American families. We can all say we support clean water, but I believe those who receive an economic benefit from the activities that may pollute our waters should not be able to profit by transferring the cost to others. I hope we all know that this is always cheaper to prevent pollution from occurring than to clean it up in its aftermath. I look forward to hearing from witnesses of how Congress and the administration can work together to invest in our water infrastructure, protect our clean water for residential, recreation, and environmental use. Mr. Chairman, I welcome our witness agencies here today and thank you for your continued service. And thank you for your service. Yield back.
I thank the gentlelady. I note that the ranking member of the full committee